Yo, what up, people? It's Facebook.
Good
Good
evening.
evening, YouTube over here. Push that back some.
Push it back some.
Yeah, because
Oh,
see, I'm not in it.
oh.
Oh, you might want to press the button to start it. No, we'll push it back some.
Can we? Okay.
There you go. What's up, people? We gonna talk tonight.
Hi.
Welcome to Marriage Monday. You know, one day we're gonna get some theme music and everything.
That's what we're gonna do.
We're gonna have some theme music.
So this one is off.
Mm-hmm.
Are you in there? Hey.
Sure.
You're not in there.
Mm-mm.
You gotta come closer this way. Share. Hi, you all.
All right, we're running a little bit behind because
Yeah, forgive us. Somebody
it's all.
had to rush in and eat dinner.
We working on this anyway. Sure.
Instead of going.
All right, I'm gonna get out that chair.
Put it in the front, like this in front of that one. There you go.
All right, people. This is what happened when you got regular old production. Regular old production works this way.
Good evening, good evening. I can't see this. Who is this? Hearns?
Mm-hmm.
Hi, Hearns.
How y'all doing? We are thrilled to be here as always with Marriage Monday, where we come to you guys to pour out from the wisdom of years to share and to be and to learn from you guys as well.
Right.
So we always like our participation, people.
Mm-hmm.
Participate. All right.
We don't
Keep
want to.
going.
We don't want to just share. We want you all to share as well because there's so many different insights, so many different thought processes and experiences, and we want to get them all because there is a couple out there that needs some assistance, like us, maybe like you. Like there's so many great perspectives. There's so many different ways of seeing things, and we want to bring that all. So while he's over there fixing the
Yep. Cause we need black
breaking
folks.
the lights.
We need black folks lighting.
He's breaking the lights. Why does that look like an alien? Like, what is that thing?
Take me to your leader. You can plug your phone. You can hook your phone up to it.
Oh, that's what it is?
All right.
Okay.
There we
So,
go.
hi, everybody.
Hey.
Good evening.
What up, people?
We hope you all had a wonderful, wonderful day.
Yes, you truly did.
We had a great day. It's hot here in Georgia. I guess we're starting to feel summer temperatures. I think it's hot everywhere. Hello, Avery. I think we're starting to feel summer everywhere. I hear that the weather is just hot everywhere. So we first want to start out by, of course, saying our intro, seeing how everyone's feeling, everyone's doing. If you didn't have a good day today, know that there is tomorrow. We don't know what your different struggles may be, or your happiness may be, or whatever, but share it with us, and we can always generate some prayers and some positive energy toward one another, because that's what it's about, being supportive of one another. So, our announcement, of course, Georgia Aquarium, Saturday, February the 20th, 2021, box office wedding. You guys may be tired of hearing about it, but guess what? We are ecstatic because we just started back on serious concrete planning.
Mm-hmm.
So, although COVID is still relevant, the Georgia Aquarium things have opened up. We're just planning because we still have about 6 months before that wonderful day where we'll have our secondary wedding, our box office wedding at the Georgia Aquarium, and you all are invited. You all are invited. This is your personal invite. This is your direct invite to you, to you, to you, to you, to you, to you.
To you.
From us. We want you all to be there because the venue is such a big place. It's big enough for all of us to be there and to be able to share the love. He's running around. But we'd love for you to be there. So go to www.tagteamwedding.com. Submit your RSVP. Let us know how many you want to bring with you. The more the merrier. We plan on having a good time. Sabrina says it's hot in Vegas. Isn't it always hot in Vegas? We plan on having a really good time, a great weekend, and we love for you guys to join us and experience this with us. We started this thing out as tag team dating enjoying that, and it just blew up to something bigger than we both expected. This love, that is.
You took away my big box that I usually put this.
Oh, you need the big box?
That's what I used to put it up. But we good right now.
So,
what up?
We don't want any gifts. We don't want any monetary gifts.
Lord of mercy.
We don't want any of that. We just want you to be there.
I want gifts. I want money.
No, you didn't. So it's $50 per adult. An evening out. Wolfgang Puck is the caterer, and that's all we want. That's all we want. We want you to be there. So we love you guys. So moving on. Next is our shirts. These were made by my wonderful niece Ashley. This guy.
Look, I didn't get home in enough time to set everything up, so I'm still all right. We good now.
You comfortable?
I'm comfortable. We all in the scene. We all in the set.
You sure?
Our niece Ashley
made our shirts.
Gotta
see it.
All right.
Always protect your queen.
Always protect your queen. Always trust your king. Which, yes. Let me tell y'all something. This conversation that we're gonna have.
Wait a minute.
Oh, my bad.
We can't not in. So, and then we have to show you guys our board. This is what we received. This is what we had on our first wedding. A cord of 3 strands is not easily broken. Larenzo and Donna, Ecclesiastes 4:12. We stand by that. We mean that.
That's
we
some good
know
wisdom.
That because that center cord in our lives is our Heavenly Father. That is God, and He is the center and foundation of our lives individually. So that brings it together collectively.
Mm-hmm.
All right.
And that's a key point in tonight's discussion, everybody. So, I have to say, when I first posted today about what the subject matter was going to be about concerning Will and Jada Smith, I ain't gonna lie, I hadn't seen the video at the time frame that I posted. I saw what people put on Facebook, and I saw comments that people were making.
And I actually shared my post.
And I shared I shared my baby's post. But until I actually watched it today a couple of times, my perspective on it is totally different than what I've been seeing. Mm-hmm. Because what I have been seeing is people is that comment that they made is, well, first everybody talking about entanglement, making jokes out of the word entanglement. That was the first commentary, and then the second was, women cheat. Now women cheat. Y'all got proof that women cheat, so people focused on women cheating. And then the other part that people focused on was the joke that they made, which is really an inside joke to them, which was,
that was my focal point. The joke.
The joke was, what was the joke? It was, ride or dies, bad marriages for life. And I see how that can be not pleasing, but after watching and listening to them, I have a whole new perspective from that. But we're going to talk about their whole situation and how it can actually be a benefit to everybody when you dig deep into what they were talking about, get into what they were actually talking about, and not the little highlights that everybody is focusing on.
Right, and we're gonna talk about both sides of it, because my post that I put up, that those who are friends with me can see on my page. You're off. My post pretty much stated, I didn't think, kind of paraphrasing because can't remember exactly word for word, but I pretty much felt like whether it was a pun or not, it's not funny. It's not a joke, because so many times marriage is given such a bad rep. It's given such a bad name, and we don't realize the importance of successful, happy, productive marriages. And I felt like them being who they were in this world, known all over, that what they displayed, I didn't appreciate.
Right.
I didn't appreciate it. Again, bad marriage for life, whether it was a pun or not, any pun intended. It's almost like people only see one part of things. Mm-hmm. And of course, all the negative was magnified.
Right.
But the two perspectives we're going to talk about, what my baby was talking about, what he was saying.
What am I?
My baby.
All right.
What he was saying we're gonna elaborate more. We're gonna elaborate more
Right.
on that perspective of it.
So, now when my baby first, see, she my baby too. Well, when my queen over here first posted that, and all I had saw was the meme, I thought that was in bad taste, and I still think it's in bad taste. But after listening to the entire video, I can understand it at a deeper level. It is in bad taste because
Will and Smith.
Will and Jada Smith
This is still connecting, babe.
are,
Or is it?
no, it's just unstable.
It's fine. Okay.
Well, no, it says reconnecting, but we can't do nothing about it.
Okay.
Will and Jada Smith. Okay, so they are Hollywood people. They are in the public view, the public persona. And as Terry had mentioned earlier,
Terry Roberts, my
Terry
cousin,
Roberts,
made a
cousin,
comment.
he
on my
made a
post.
comment. People will mimic. People will copycat what they see from people like that.
Mhm.
They are influencers, and being influencers, even though you may have it as a joke, and you may have it may be one of those things that you say, when it happened, we're gonna look back at this and laugh about it. When you say it to the people when it's fresh, they don't have that perspective, which they admitted that other people don't have the perspective of the whole situation that
Right.
they had
And of
because
course they
it
don't.
happened 4.5 years ago. So I think that they were not responsible in making that joke because a responsible person would have said people aren't going to get it. It might have been an in the moment joke, but people are going to take that and run with it. And there are too many people who will say, "Oh, well, Jada and Will Smith said bad marriage is for life." So even though you kicking my butt, bad marriage for life.
Right.
Even though you're irresponsible financially, bad marriage for life. People like that can't say that without going deeper into why they said it. And honestly, they just shouldn't say it. Because as you see, most people just took that. A lot of people took that and ran with it.
Right. Entanglement. And after I watched the actual, because I didn't watch it. I actually watched it Saturday, and I made my post, I think, yesterday or Sunday. I believe I made the post. And in watching it, of course, if you all have not seen it as yet, and some people be like, why are we giving it attention and this and that. It's not necessarily we're giving Will and Jada attention. What we do is we focus on positive marriages. And we focus on, that's what Marriage Monday is about. It's focusing on the things that will better our situation with our spouse, that will help us to understand each other better and fight through the tough stuff. So take from it what you will, leave what you will, but I think it's good to have a perspective from it and take something from it. So when I made the post, I was fairly disgusted. I was fairly disgusted. And I listened to it. I listened to the interview, the Red Table Talk. I listened to that, and you okay?
Keep going. I hit my foot
under
the table. I hit my foot under the table.
Sorry.
Sorry. It got like right in the good spot too. Goodness.
Yeah, okay.
Good night. Go ahead.
Just breathe. Whoo. I listened to it. I listened to the interview, and all the little clips that we're seeing on Facebook and everywhere else aren't complete statements, and I didn't realize that. And I'm sure some of y'all didn't realize that unless you watched it. So like when she said an entanglement, like the little clips that we see, it said entanglement, and then it went on hee ha ha. That wasn't what was done and said. Like she said entanglement, she got into an entanglement, and he repeated it like entanglement, and he said relationship. So we didn't see that, and we didn't hear that. So that part of it and that point of it is like it clearly said to me, this brother didn't wasn't as open as we thought.
Exactly.
It wasn't what we thought, and he really wasn't down for like, okay, so regardless of his indiscretions, because she did mention that he had many indiscretions as well.
Right. And even that was out of context.
Yeah.
Because the thing of what you just said about entanglement, when I saw the memes and all the posts and all that kind of stuff, people made it seem like she said entanglement, and then he was like pissed, like entanglement. No.
Right.
But it wasn't that way. She said it, and then he was like, well, let me be you at the red table and just clarify for the people what really happened.
Right.
That you saying entanglement. He was like, it was a relationship. She was like, yeah, it was a relationship. But again, 4.5 years ago is when they had to deal with it. I'm sure if that was raw right now, and she said entanglement, he would have been like, what the whole...
Right.
You're not, hold on, partner.
Right.
Entanglement. No. That was he'd been pissed. But this is 4.5 years later.
Mm-hmm.
They've had time to go through it.
Right.
So we didn't get that perspective. And if you just watch it on YouTube and stuff, Facebook, I mean, if you just see people's comments, you don't get that perspective.
Right. But the point going through it, you
Yeah.
said going through it. Like, and again, we're not trying to broadcast Will and Jada. Y'all have heard it, y'all seen it, whatever. We're talking about a married couple going through what real married couples go through.
Exactly.
What real married couples go through. And going through the hard times and the issues and the tough times and still coming out later on being together. Now, we don't know on the personals what's behind closed doors, like what goes on with them. Like, you know, who did what and
right.
when and how they dealt with it. We just see the outward. So, for example, we had woo this morning.
You know in that video when Will Smith said that he didn't like her for a time?
Oh my
we had
gosh.
one of those this morning.
We had an argument this morning. Because we're not trying to put on the fluff. We're not trying to act like this is not real, because this is real. These are two adult people with their own mind,
mm-hmm.
their own way of doing things. We are both 48 years old, and I know he looked 48, but I know.
Whatever.
We're both 48 years old. We have been married previously. We have been married before. So we don't want to come off like we trying to be like everything's...
Which is how a lot of people envision these Hollywood marriages. They
right.
think that everything is all nice and fluffy.
So this is real. So we were at it this morning. Like, he doesn't yell at me, but he yelled at me this morning, y'all. Somebody talk to him. He yelled at me. Miss Martin. He yelled at me this morning.
Really? You gonna put it out there like that?
And I yelled at him.
Yeah, thank you.
So I yelled at him too.
And hung up on me.
Oh, I did. I hung up on
yes.
him, which was so rude and disrespectful. I'm sorry.
Yeah,
I apologize.
And I apologize for yelling at you this morning.
Thank you, baby.
Thank you.
Okay.
All right.
Okay. So it may happen again tomorrow.
It might happen tonight.
But we gonna push through it.
And I got to go back and get that stuff that I left at the store.
You
so
sure
it might
did.
happen tonight.
Right. How the popcorn man gonna forget my popcorn? Anyway.
Somebody was rushing me to get home.
But we wanted to be here for y'all.
Yeah.
So anyway.
But that's no excuse. I got to go back and get it.
The positives that we want to pull out, knowing that the negatives do exist. Like,
right.
He made a post today, and actually I didn't see it till 2 hours after you made it. And when I read these posts, of course it gets me right here. Gets me the... So I didn't see it till 2 hours after, because for one, we were arguing. So, like, I really wasn't on Facebook. I was at work, and I'm like, okay. So I didn't see it till 2 hours later. But I realized in the throwdown that we had this morning, he could still post something and say something so loving and so caring and so deep to the real of how he feels, even when he's upset with me. It's hard to stay mad, because that it's a testament of those tough times
mm-hmm.
that you move on through and you deal with and you go through, but you realize you have to have staying power.
Right.
Like we stay in power. Like nobody knows what it is anymore.
And you know what's irritating to me about what you just said? And this whole situation,
Yeah,
though.
hurry up and finish that statement, because he's
Right.
something.
Right. I gotta make him put him in suspense.
Go ahead.
So,
what's irritating?
So here's the thing. Out of every meme and comment that I've seen about the whole Jada and Will thing,
mm-hmm.
what nobody memed or said anything about, which was demonstrated with us today, even without me actually seeing, I didn't see. Let me tell y'all something. I didn't see the videos of them until like 30 minutes ago.
On his way home.
On my way home. All right. And but he said that in the first year that they was together, he told her, "I will love you through anything." And then they talked about how a marriage goes, how they have gotten to a point, became elevated, grew into a point of unconditional love. Many people get married thinking you're supposed to have unconditional love from day one. You ain't got it. You're not gonna have it.
Nope.
We've been married before. We still don't have it because you come into a marriage, you don't know each other, and then you get to know each other and you learn and develop. But many people run and get out before they learn that. So today, when we was mad at each other,
Hey Jackson, hey Latonia.
so we was mad at each other, right? But yesterday I had ordered her an edible
Arrangement.
edible arrangement, yeah,
A box.
a box. And if I could not love her through the frustration and anger this morning, then vindictively I would have canceled that order, right? But no, you go get it anyway. You still say, I love you, and we gonna go, we mad right now. But what I know is that we coming out on the other side of this. That no matter what we say, what's going on, we gonna come out of the other side of it. And that's something that they talked about at the red table that nobody is talking about, right? But that's how we have to be. We have to pick up on those cues to say that we gonna get mad. And we got a lot more getting mad at each other that's gonna happen, right? And my thing is that I told Donna, I ain't doing this no more. All right, this is it. Don't marry me if you ain't in it to win it, right? I can't do this no more. My heart can't take it. You understand?
Jackson, I'm not crying.
My heart can't. Yes, she is. Yes, she is, Jackson. She's crying. We ain't seen Jackson in a minute, too.
Hey, Jackson.
But my heart can't take it. So, and that's one of the things that when I posted, one of the things and see, that's what's funny. Part of the thing that I posted this morning on my baby's page, and I gotta tell you, my baby was looking hot in that picture that I posted. Woo, she was fine.
I was fine.
You is fine, baby. You is fine, but it's an older. Anyway, one of the thought process, because see, the day before I had been I listened to the audiobook of the Kabbalion, and it reminded me of something. It reminded me of the fact that in our present form, we are the I. You are your I. You are the I of yourself right now. And what we strive for, but most people don't really strive for, but what we should be striving for is the me that you are becoming. It's almost like the ego and the id. All right. It's the masculine and the feminine. So in my post, I talked about the wonderfulness of the I that we are as a couple, the unity that we have, the presence of us now. But I'm extremely excited about the me that we are becoming. Right. And that becoming has to go through some stuff to get there. You're going to have some fighting to get there. You're going to have some irritation to get there. But if you stay stuck in your I or your ego or in your masculine energy and never allow your id or your feminine energy to nurture who you are and develop and grow into the marriage, then you will never see the true greatness. You'll be stuck in that one spot. And when you listen to what they were talking about, 4.5 years ago when this whole issue happened, they were stuck in a point where they were done with each other.
Right.
I didn't know that part either. Yeah. They were completely done with each other when that stuff happened. But it is through that struggle, that fight, that burning, that going through the fire, that alchemy of life that they went through, that they found themselves and found each other. And that's what we have to do. We got to make sure that we are in love with ourselves so that we can be in love with each other.
Right. And whether they are or not, whether this
cause it ain't about
only happened because the gentleman August said something. Is that
how all this came out?
Yeah.
No.
He made a statement. So regardless,
4.5 years later.
Yeah. So he had his issues or whatever. Regardless of how it came out, or if they're better now or not, the point is they went through some tough stuff, and we hope and pray that they are in a better place. But our focus is our house. Your focus has to be your house,
Right.
your spouse.
Mm-hmm.
Is it better for you all, whatever y'all dealt with and y'all went through? And you know, totally honest, like we always like to be very transparent on here with you all. Very transparent. I am a fighter. I'm a fighter. Like,
Not in the way y'all thinking.
not a physical fighter.
No, I wouldn't think about that. Like, I'm a fight for the marriage fighter. No, she's.
Oh yeah, no, I'm a fight for the
Well,
marriage.
you'll fight for
But
the
what
marriage,
I'm
but
saying
that's
is,
not what you're saying right now.
yeah, what I'm saying right now is I'm a fighter. Like, I've always, that's just always been me, and there's reasonings behind that, and there are things that that have been revealed and recognized to why I fight like I do. But he now understands that because there were some things that he did not know, even in our 7-year friendship, that he didn't know, because to me that wasn't his business.
Right.
It's like it wasn't for me to tell him that. But now that we're in the position that we're in, and we decided, he chased me down for 7 years and like sweated me for 7 years, and like every time I came to the popcorn shop, no matter who he was with, like looking at me like for 7 years, even though he did all of that.
Oh, really now? She ain't lying. She ain't lying.
So for
First day I saw her, I was like, whoo, man.
So for 7 years.
I gotta crack this one. She got a hard shell, but I gotta crack.
So for 7 years, there were things that he didn't know, things that he had to learn about me in the more recent times, as us, going from friends to courting to trying to decide if we're gonna do this thing, to deciding to be married, and so forth. But it just takes learning,
Right.
and being patient and understanding. Catchphrase: why are we here? Why are we here?
Right.
Like, why am I here?
And I thought about that on the way home after I listened to what Jada and Will was talking about in their red table, because there's a sentiment there. Everybody knows this and everybody says it, but we rarely do it. We say to ourselves that no one can make you happy, and they express how they were looking to find happiness with the other person to make them happy, and then when they couldn't do that, their codependency made them try to fix other people and hoping that would make them happy. But it wasn't until they went through this fire that they had to actually look at themselves and recognize how to make themselves happy. You see, my baby is a fighter, true, and I'm a conformist. When it comes,
pretty much what I was trying to get to.
When it comes to my wife, don't you jokers think I'm a conformist to y'all. But when it comes to my wife, I'm a conformist. And I had to look at it and say, why am I such a conformist? Not because it's not her that's creating that, that's me. Why am I such a conformist? I had to face my own stuff. And just as in the same way, why is she such a fighter and just gotta win and hold on to things like a dog with a bone and just think she right all the goddamn time and can't nobody tell her nothing and she just gonna fight till she win. And okay, I'm going a little long on that one, but I meant to.
You are.
But that was purposeful. But we have to look in ourselves and say, well, why am I this way? And then I said to myself, is it beneficial to my wife? Well, first, is it beneficial to me to be that way? Does it make me happy? If it's not, then I need to change it. And then the why that I thought about after that is, I'm happy with me, right? And even in some of my conformity to you, I'm happy because I like to make you happy. I like, making you happy makes me happy.
Right.
And getting back to happy always makes me happy.
Right.
But I had to, I recognized,
Hold on,
I was already happy. Marrying you is to augment my happiness. My why is to augment my own happiness I already got within my own completion. So therefore, I get in my zen of knowing that, and then we just go to nirvana because you just accentuates that happiness. So yeah. But we got some commentary. Jackson said, I learned to be great in life. Wait a minute. I've learned to be great in life. What is he?
I've learned to be great in life. Needed a comma there, Jackson?
Oh, you must do what is best for the group. The movement is to be Unitarianism for the whole. Jada is upset for being uncovered, and I do believe Will himself is hurt.
Jackson, question: did you watch the interview?
Right.
That's the question. I want to ask that question before we respond.
Yeah. So we'll look at some other stuff while we're
Yeah.
waiting on you. And Latoya Mills said, "Can I get a rundown on what's going on? Because I'm lost right now. Give me a minute." And Jackson said, "Conformity is good because it shows a humble within self, and it always balance
that male
ego.
Mm-hmm.
Right? And recognize women can have a male ego too. We all have male and female energy going on within us because we all got egos and ids.
So egos.
Right.
So egos. Women can have egos as well.
Right.
Mm-hmm. So Latoya, real quick, we're gonna try to do this in 2 seconds. We're talking about making your marriage great.
There it is. And we're just using the experience that and
yeah, the experience that happened with
Jada and Will and how
week.
everybody's heightened about it. But and it's odd that it's heightened because it would happen 4 years ago.
And we're trying to look at it both perspectives.
Yeah, because when I think about some of the things like the argument we had this morning, 4 years ago we'll laugh about it. 4 years ago we can make jokes about it. 4 years ago it won't have the impact. But other people, if they find out about it and think about it that it just happened, they'll take it on a whole serious note. Okay? Jackson said he did and he laughed at it.
Okay, so Jackson, you did watch it, but you said earlier, let's see.
That Jada is upset because of
Jada's upset because of being uncovered. And I'm sure she is.
Right.
But if you looked at the video, Jackson, remember now, she mentioned Will's indiscretions.
Right.
His many indiscretions.
And they did that as a joke too, which shouldn't have been. Because he was like, I'm gonna get you back. I'm gonna get you back. And she was like, you already not got me back plenty of times.
Exactly. You got me back plenty of times.
But I'm still gonna get you back. And she was like, I'll let you have your
so
pettiness.
that's where the male ego comes in at. So if he knows that he did wrong, he had indiscretions. Mm-hmm. Hers came out, but now you want to sit up and talk about, oh, I'm gonna get you back.
Right.
Like, and possibly the cause of her indiscretions could have been because of his indiscretions.
She said that 4.5 years ago when it happened,
to make it all
she was hurting. She was hurting for the lack of self-love, but it's possible she was also hurting for indiscretions he may have had, which were many, as they both laughed about it. And this is also where I think people are taking the situation out of context, because this happened 4 years ago, 4 or 5 years ago for them. They were in a position where they were done with each other 4 years ago. And we are seeing them now, and they 25 years married, and they have learned so much about themselves and their relationship.
And they're answering.
And that's why when you sit up under older couples who've been together for a long time, and they tell you about the struggles they went through, it's easier when you're sitting there and you're listening and you know that this is an older couple. But when you look at somebody like that and all this stuff comes out, you think it just happened. And you can't see the age of it. But a couple that's been together for 25 years have been through some stuff, right? Me and my wife, we have the benefit of, although we haven't been through 25 years of stuff, we've pretty much been through 25 years of marriage. Wait, we haven't been through 25 years of stuff together. We've been through 25 years of stuff, of situations that we can lean on to help us out in our current situation, which is why, like, we don't hide the fact that we've been married before, because those experiences help us to be better with each other. Right. So, and I wouldn't trade them for the world, because I need those.
No, I trade some of mine, but
some of them. Yes.
But they built. I always say it's not the way you go through something; it's the way you come out of it.
Yep.
And how you come out is the telltale story of who you really are, and how you were built through the situation. So I've been through some stuff.
Yeah, and there's some people whose names have popped up all throughout here that I know more about, and I know y'all been through some stuff. I know some of y'all on here have been through some stuff, and you've dealt with some stuff, and you've come out better. But I guarantee you wouldn't be better in your current relationship had you not went through that stuff.
Man, I had this conversation twice today, and I'm just realizing it.
What's that?
Like the first conversation I had with one of my parents at the daycare, and he was saying, we're considering him for the DJ for our box office wedding in February. And he was saying, wow, he was like, so y'all get married? And I said, well, actually, we're already married. We had a small intimate wedding last February, but we want to have a bigger one with all the people that we love that weren't there and couldn't be there. So, we're having the bigger one, and I'm a Little Mermaid fanatic fan, however you want to put it. I love Ariel, Little Mermaid. So we're having the wedding at the Georgia Aquarium. So he was like, you know what? He was like, I was married before. He said, and got divorced. He said, but oddly enough, it didn't make me bitter. It didn't turn me off. He said, so I want to do it again.
Right.
And he said, it taught me things. He said, the things that I know now, the experiences that I have now, help me, and I know I'll be better prepared the next time.
Right.
And I was like, you're right. I said, because some things that I did, some ways that I thought when I was married previously, I don't dare do those things now.
Right.
Not because I'm scared to, or I'm scared he gonna leave or whatever. It's just I don't dare do it because the level of disrespect and the level of respect has to be there.
Right.
It has to be there.
Yeah.
No, because we told Katie to get it. He's
Okay.
coming.
Yeah.
My daughter's knocking on the door.
And
She'll get it.
and I agree with my baby 100% on that because
Hey, LaDon.
it is there. There are things that I've done in my past I would never do again. I know the pain it caused. I know the separation it caused. I know that it's not good for the marriage. I know it's not good for me. So it's like, why do it? But you learn from those things.
Right. I knew that was grabbing.
That's because somebody stole my box. So Jackson said, and I'm just messing everything up now.
Jackson, but not Michael.
I said, okay, but years before I knew my strength, I used to, I too used happen others as, we're going to have to work on this, as a tool to help myself and my emptiness. I can say that I've hurt others along the way, and today I'm a person working to be better me. I was a therapist. I was a therapist dog back in the day, and through talking and being alone.
Found myself.
I found myself. He said alone. I said alone. I find myself. I am living in my new because of the new birth of knowledge and knowing me.
Yes, Jackson, and all of that Lorenzo messed up reading. Yes,
I read it just how he wrote it.
You did. The new you, Jackson. So the point
But we
is,
get the gist.
the strength that you have now, going through and dealing with things that you dealt with in the past. I'm trying to paraphrase. I was a therapist dog, so I'm assuming that means like you stayed in therapy, like you did therapy. Therapy is good. Counseling is good.
Yeah, it is.
Therapy is
Don't
good.
be telling me I'm driving and typing.
Don't you be driving and texting, Jackson?
Use the voice aspect of texting.
He might have spoken to it.
Oh. See how she threw you on the bus
I
right now?
did not.
And
Jackson.
you was on her team.
Jackson.
Anyway.
I did not.
But
therapy is good. Counseling is good.
And that's just not for older people. You know how we,
right?
Because there's some old fools out there.
Old fools.
The fact that he said that he grew. Most people don't grow. We stay stuck.
Right.
In a position. On the video that I did about the Declaration of Independence, there's a line in there that says how most people will just sit in their pain, basically, is what it says. And it takes a whole lot to move for a person to move out of their pain. If you're suffering, most people will stay stuck as to who they are and stay in that suffering state, which is why they'll move from suffering relationship to suffering relationship to suffering relationship. They'll move from having codependencies to codependencies, from abuser to abuser, the whole situation. They'll just keep doing it over and over again.
Right.
It is not until we actually sit back and take stock of ourselves and say, is this worth? I want to be something better. I want to do something better. I want to have something better. That we start to make a change, and usually, unfortunately, that comes after experiencing a tremendous amount of pain. Because you think about what they said. Will said that I was done with you. I wasn't gonna speak to you, and she.
Yeah.
And when he was like, when we had decided to separate 4 times, she came back and was like, no, it was indefinite.
Right.
They were
they
in
were done.
tremendous amount of pain to be able to force that through that fire and come back. My hope is that from videos like what we're talking about, you don't allow it to get to that level of pain before you start changing things.
Right.
Before you start making yourself better for yourself first, which should hopefully make it better for your mate.
And I'm glad you said self, because here goes the ego. And here goes the blame game. A lot of times, and I'm going to speak for the ladies. I'm going to speak to the ladies. A lot of times, ladies, over and over, we attract the same type of guys. We deal with the same type of guys.
Just ladies, dudes, do the same thing.
Yeah, no, I'm talking to the ladies.
Okay, my bad.
We talk to the same type of guys. We deal with the same type of guys. And then when we get hurt and they do things, we want to blame them, and we want to get upset, and we want to start crying and fussing, and men ain't this and men ain't that, or whatever. But it's that self. Like she mentioned, Jada mentioned, she tried to find happiness somewhere else when she was not getting it where she thought she should. And she should have from her husband. And she wasn't getting it, so she looked somewhere else to get it. And it doesn't necessarily mean you have to look toward another person to get it. You can look for other things that distract you and keep you keep you making excuses, as opposed to dealing with yourself.
Like people getting their work or their kids.
Right. You make excuses.
Drugs.
So then the next relationship comes and you muck that one up too, but you want to blame it on everybody else. But you're not looking at self and building yourself and realizing what I brought into this. And why I'm attracting knuckleheads. Like, so we got to think about that. So self-building, understanding yourself, total transparent. When I got divorced,
I like how you say.
Yeah.
When you get ready to say something, you be like, total transparent.
When I got divorced,
I'm gonna get you a shirt to say total transparent.
Total transparent? Yeah. Total transparency. So when I got divorced, I got married young. So when I got divorced, we stayed married for 14 years. I would never bash my ex-husband. He's the father of my children, and without him, I wouldn't have my loves. So
telling Charisma.
Charisma probably heard it. So when I got divorced, I literally was like, woohoo! So remember how you said you hate when people do divorce parties?
Yes.
So I was going to have one. I was going to have a divorce party. Ended up not having a divorce party. But anyway, I felt like I was in such a good place. I felt like a relief. There was weight dropped off, and because I had been married for so long, I married young, and there was just no growth. There was no growth. So after a while, I started realizing how I missed aspects of being married, how I missed aspects of the family network that I didn't have. And then, people went off to college and I had an empty nest and it was just me. And it gave me time to think and deal with myself. Now, there were times I did enjoy myself as a single lady. I did have a good time. But then there were times in quiet moments I'm like, dang. And then the people that I was attracting, I never really dealt with knuckleheads, but they were too knucklehead for me, that I couldn't solidify a real relationship with it. But my point is, I had to look at myself, and I had to reflect on where I played a part in here, where I played a part in there, and where I can do better. Because I knew I'd be married again. I knew I wanted to be married again. So I knew there was some fixing that I had to do, that I had to work on. So I was Bob the Builder.
I ain't had to fix nothing.
Whatever.
No, but I mean,
give me that list.
and that's how. But that. See, the thing about it, we like to do this thing where we say opposites attract and all that kind of. Opposites don't attract.
They don't.
And here's the key, people. I'm gonna drop some knowledge on you. You will attract what you are for the most part.
Come on, Professor.
It won't be in every aspect. What in the world? These are Facebooks. It won't be. You won't attract in every aspect of who you are exactly what you're. But most of your core aspects of who you are is what you will attract. Right? And
whether you like it or not.
Exactly. So if you want, and that's what I realized. So I realized that I became broken. I started becoming broken in high school, right? And then I became more broken after high school. So when I got divorced, I found other broken people. And then when I got divorced again, and I recognized that I was finding some seriously broken people, I had to say to I had to stop. And I really was like, you read all these books, you studied all these people, you've met all these amazing couples, and they've imparted to you all this knowledge. But guess what, fool? You not putting it in practice. You are able to tell everybody else how to fix their marriage. And them fools go on, they have great marriage, and then you get mad.
Why they fools?
Because
they gotta get
I would literally get mad at my clients for having great marriages by following the advice that I was giving them, but yet I couldn't do it for myself. Because during that time, I never really stopped and applied everything to myself, because I recognized that if I'm not whole, I cannot attract another whole person. Or at minimum, I'm working on being whole and attract somebody else who's working on being whole, and we can get whole together but independently.
Right.
So I had to recognize that within myself in many different areas of my life. And I was out of balance. I was whole in this area, but I'm broken over here. And that's a bump in your tire. That doesn't work. You got to skip.
There was a reason it took 7 years. We weren't ready.
Oh, no, we weren't ready.
We weren't ready.
Nah, if we would have got married, if we would have tried this 7 years ago, y'all.
Wouldn't have worked.
It would have lasted 7 days.
Mm-hmm.
I'd have broke up with her so fast.
I'd
have been like,
whoo.
I'd have kicked her straight to the curb.
Man, man.
Right now.
Get some. What?
Take you out? Oh, hell. No. We'd have had one meal out of it done.
One.
And it probably wouldn't finish. Had hors d'oeuvres and I'm like, check.
And I've been waiting for that call from my girl. Girl, call and get me out of this.
I wouldn't even dare to call. I'd be like, look, this ain't gonna work.
I would have been polite about it.
No, I've done that.
No, I had to, but I was polite about it.
That thing was so, I was just like,
Although I knew it wasn't going anywhere, I'm still gonna be polite about it.
Well, see, I was spending money.
See?
So I wasn't about to spend more money.
Ridiculous. Read what Jackson said.
I don't know. See what Team Jackson
Pain and losses.
Pain and losses will ignite a charge in you and a change in you and in our human spirit. But for a man, having a spiritual and grounded woman by his side and pray for him, his health, his success, his strength, his wisdom, and a better relationship with the Creator makes the road travel a place of certainty and hopefulness.
Sorry, my baby walked in the door and now she's leaving again. She'll be on camera. Where you going?
You know what, Jackson? I know you're just trying to get back on Team Donna, like you do.
Call me when you get there.
You traitor, Team Jackson.
Jackson,
but no,
is
Jackson
on the right side.
Jackson is absolutely right. And it goes both ways. Though. Mm-hmm. It goes both ways. If you don't have,
what did I do?
What did you do? Tap it twice. There you go. Oh. You switch the camera out.
Oh.
If you don't have that support structure, that person, like Will said, I'm gonna love you through everything. We gonna go through everything together. there has been, and total transparency.
Stop trying to use my word.
That's sarcasm. There has been there has been several times where I've had to tell Donna, we ain't getting out of this.
Oh.
You here, we here. We gonna work through this.
Yeah, I'm a ship jumper.
Yeah, ain't no jumping ship.
'Cause it don't take long for me.
Right, like you might have done. You made up, and I'm gonna go ahead and say this, and it's gonna be respectfully disrespectful. I am not.
My face.
Yeah. My baby has dealt with some weak men, period. That's just, I mean, for her level. Let me put it that way. Let me codify. For her level. So no disrespect for any other man that she's ever dated or whatever. But for her level, these men were not strong enough to deal with her. It takes a certain strength of a man to deal with her. One that can see through her little attitude and her thing of wanting to jump ship and let her know that let me tell you something. Regardless of, I don't care how mad you get, we are going to come out of this and work through this. There is no, I'm running. You may have, other people have let you run. I'm not letting you run. You know, I'm not beating you. I'm not stealing from you. I'm not putting you in the poorhouse. I'm not doing any of these things that would justify somebody rolling. So I ain't cheating on you. Ain't none of these things happening. So you ain't going nowhere. Right? You gonna have to, as hard as you gonna have to fight to get out this relationship. So she's never had that. Right? And I didn't recognize that at first, but then as we've gone on and I had to slow down my, what's the word I used earlier? My conformity towards her and recognize that, no, I got to give her a lot more backbone because otherwise she's going to run through her escape because that's what she's had before because she's never had a man like that. And that's just a real. Now, that doesn't mean I'm not domineering. I don't come in the house telling her, you better do this, you better do that. That's not working. That's controlling, right? That's controlling, demanding from her and telling her and putting her under heel. No, I give my baby tons of authority to do pretty much whatever she decides. But there is that point. There are those moments, those points where I have to say, no, this is the family direction, and we're not going any other direction but this direction. You know, and most of that time that is in we are going to solve whatever issue that we have, and you my wife. What that Edward Ranger say today? Mm-hmm. This video might be over, y'all. We about to go upstairs, but
okay.
What James? You cannot jump ship.
Wait,
you come with Team Larenzo.
Say something first.
Oh, so for me, I had to let God put that person in my life He wanted me to have, and now I really know what love is. And LaTanya said, "I'm team both. I understand where both of them are coming from. Nothing but love." That's right. It is nothing but love. Hey, Paul and Claudette.
Where
right there.
Oh, hey.
Yeah. And that's really how it has to be. You know, I do love the term servant leadership. You do have to lead by serving, and servant leadership is not always you be humble when you need to be humble, but then you have to be stern when you need to be stern.
Right.
And she recognizes some of the weaker points that I have where she got to do stuff, and I recognize it back in her, and that's why although you know we work together in this thing, and that's how we have to be. You have to work together in it, and be willing to go through it. You know, I hate when if some of the people who follow me, y'all know I study alchemy and hermetics. I hate when people come to me and they tell me, "So have you found how to convert lead into gold?" And they take it as a literal, not understanding that no, fool. It's about your emotions going from lead to gold, your mind, your thinking going from lead to gold. It is forging your relationship through the fire. Mm-hmm. You know, to make a great sword that can do battle, you gotta bang on it, shape
Into the
it,
fire.
put it into the fire. Then you put, and so that the impurities can get out of it. Then bang on it some more and put it into the water so you can cool it off, because you can't be on fire all the time.
Right.
Then you shape it some more because you got some of the impurities out. Then you put it back in the fire because you still got some impurities. And you got to go through that process a bunch of times to get there. Y'all know this, but we got to practice this. Just because you go through some fire doesn't mean you run from the relationship. You know, and look, infidelity is a hard one to overcome. So even though originally I was like, Will and Jada, whatever, I got more respect for him now after watching the video and truly understanding a little bit deeper. But that's a hard thing to get past. Sticking with somebody through their traumas, that's a hard one. That's a hard one. Because look, I got some traumas that my baby sticks with me through. You know, that's some hard stuff, you know, to deal with. So you got to be willing to say that I'm going to be with you through this, that we going to, you know, to the very end, you know, just me and my girlfriend. That's just how it has to be. And there's, you know, I mean, let's be honest, guys. If we really think about it, I know the type person, you know the type man I am, right? You know I'm not going to cheat on you. You know I'm not going to steal from you. You know I'm not going to hit you. I'm not going to verbally abuse you. I'm not going to emotionally abuse you. So knowing that those things aren't going to happen, what could I possibly do that would cause you to never want to be with me? I mean, really. You can get mad because I said something the wrong way, or I forgot that I didn't get you a gift, you know, in 3 months or something. But that'd be a real long time. But if you really think about that, there's nothing we couldn't fight. We couldn't work through.
Right.
You know? No matter how, yeah. I mean, and that's what you got to find. That's what you got to be with. You got to have that, guys. You got to have that where you say, look, I know the core of my baby. She ain't gonna cheat on me. She ain't gonna steal from me. She ain't gonna hit me. She ain't gonna disrespect me like at a high level. You know, she a little flippant at the mouth. But I know at her core, she ain't gonna do none of those things. Whatever. She ain't gonna do none of those things. She a little bossy. A whole lot of bossy. But what I do know is that nothing that she could really, she's not going to do the things that I just can't deal with, you know, or I ain't going to say can't deal with, that will be a tremendous struggle to deal with. So all the other stuff is really like, and this is why, and it pisses her off, I get back to happy so quick, because I will,
used to piss me off.
I will recognize real quick, like, this ain't death or dying. I'm not about to hold on to this anger. You know, when I showed up at the daycare today, I didn't care how mad she was going to be. She going to get this edible arrangement box, and she going to like this edible arrangement box, and she going to like the card that's in there. And even if she took it and had an attitude about it, I was still going to be happy about it. Like, I knew I was going to eat a piece of it. So I was good. I was already good.
Jackson said, I see both of you being foundationally great and having... His screen is cracked, y'all, so we can read. We're just trying to read through the cracks. I see both of you being foundationally great and having each other's soul and back.
And then he also said, I thought that rental car was going to be the deal breaker.
Jackson, COVID saved that situation.
COVID saving that.
We were going to rent a car.
No, we not.
Jackson is talking about, real quick, y'all, we talked about one night. I said we rent a car if we go on a trip to save the miles and everything on our vehicle. He said, no, we got the vehicle to be able to go on trips or whatever. So that's what Jackson is talking about. Jackson, I'm going to take a picture in that rental.
That's like buying an RV and then go rent an RV to drive it.
That's different. An RV is solely that purpose. That was extreme.
But I don't care. It's an SUV. I take a picture in that. It's a silver.
You don't even know what it is.
Silver gray Nissan Armada, because I don't really care about cars too much. But that's what it is, and I guarantee if my family trip Well, our family trip now. If our family trip goes down for Labor Day weekend, guess what we gonna be in?
Not in our Armada.
Watch. Guess what I'm gonna be in? No. I'm usually easy. All you gotta do is show me some affection and you win, but you ain't winning this one.
Okay, Jackson, we'll take that picture.
Yeah. Anyway. Anyhow. But guys.
You always complaining, Llewellyn. Where you are, you good.
Yeah.
My brother, he always complaining, like, stick to one camera. We're trying.
Do
we
YouTube.
need y'all to go to YouTube and subscribe and follow us on our YouTube page, and then we can come down to one camera, guys. That's what we're trying to do.
So look.
He gonna get on here again and complain instead of being on YouTube.
Like Paul.
And Claudette.
So we're gonna bring this to a head.
Yeah.
Look, here's the thing. Here's it in summary, guys. In essence, what people should have gotten from Will and Jada is that if you're broken, you got to find your peace and happiness within yourself before first. You can find happiness with somebody else. Because and even when you do start with them, you're going to go through ups and downs and through the fire if you want to forge an amazing, brilliant, strong relationship.
Because you have to decide and understand and know why you are here.
Right.
Why are you here?
And if you got a partner who's willing to work with you, who wants that same thing, and they want to fight for it, and they have a good core, don't try to fight for a relationship with some bad core person because they still broken anyway. And complain and fuss because you got yourself in that mess in the first place. Right. And then if you got yourself in that mess, either work it out or get out.
Mm-hmm. Love you, Latoya.
Look,
Latanya. Sorry.
One of my favorite books is Outwitting the Devil, and Napoleon Hill as the devil. He was like, "But isn't marriages people supposed to stay married? Because even aren't all marriages made by God?" And the devil was like, "Nope, I made some of them things."
Yep. So that's real.
Not every marriage.
Every marriage is not bound under God.
That's right.
It is not.
Some of y'all marriages is purely emotional. I mean, it's not emotional. Some of them is purely financial. Some of them is convenient-wise. Some of them are emotion, but not a good emotion. Mm-hmm. But some of these marriages have no depth of true spiritual commitment.
Right.
And I don't care how much paperwork you have. If you ain't got true depth of spiritual commitment, then you just married in the body and the mind, and you ain't married deep in your spiritual core.
Because if you have that for yourself first, you're not going to marry someone who does not.
Mm-hmm.
Self. Start with self first.
That's right.
Start with self first.
So that's the core, guys. We want y'all to get better within yourself, mentally, physically, spiritually, economically, socially. Get yourself 360 degrees of fullness, and then match up with that other person, because it'll make it worth working for and fighting for. And when you go through your ups and downs, because you will, because no two people can get together and not have any struggles, because you're two different people with two different backgrounds, and you'll do great. But you know that you're going to have some struggles and some fight, and it may not fix itself real quick. It may take time. Because Will and Jada said that they were on the outs.
Yeah.
Right? Like separated.
I don't know many people know what it feels like to be on the out. Mm-hmm. But imagine those couples, and we wish y'all would chime in and raise your hand or something. Those couples who have been on the out, but are still together and work back and work through it. You all are a testament of where we're all trying to be, and we appreciate you all.
Yep, that's right.
This is Nephew Caden. This is actually our cameraman, our producer, he told us tonight it's 9 o'clock.
Yeah, y'all know what time it is?
He asked us during the week. Y'all know what y'all subject is on Monday? What y'all subject is going to be on Monday? He's literally our producer, director, everything. So we had to give a little shout out.
All right. So we appreciate you guys, love you guys. And as always, in your relationship, remember, why are you here?
Extremely bossy and neat. Get off the feet.
She is. So, I mean, I can't even pull the chairs in without you being bossy. No, it wasn't chairs. It was the scoopers.
Oh, the scoopers?
Yeah, a little bossy self. So anyway, guys, y'all have a great day. Look forward to you guys joining us for our wedding. We're going to have a whole weekend.
Good to see you back, Jackson.
There's going to be a whole weekend thing going on, that February 20th time frame. So we look forward to it.
Jackson be at the wedding.
Yep, Wolfgang Puck Catering. So
Latanya be at the wedding.
So get your RSVPs in. Has Miss Martin put her RSVP in?
Miss Martin, hold on.
Put your RSVP in.
Miss Martin, you didn't RSVP yet. Hey, Gail. Gail's on here.
We need
Gail
everybody.
did her RSVP. Gail and her brother were like the first ones to RSVP. You go into the shop changing stuff.
Mm-hmm. Bossy.
It's for the better.
Whatever.
Of
So
everyone.
We want everybody to show up there. We're going to have a great time. And continue to join us and support the channel. Go over to the YouTube
It's
channel.
an extension of the daycare.
Tag Team Marriage. And subscribe to the YouTube channel. Yeah. So
Tag
that we
Team
can really do
Marriage.
this thing up.
So we can be on one camera and my brother can stop complaining.
I know.
Because his Wi-Fi sucks.
He's going to consider this my RSVP. No, bro.
No, sir. No, sir.
Your PayPal will consider the RSVP.
I need info on the hotels. Newgate. We will have information. Our coordinator is getting that done, so we'll put it on the tag team wedding page.
Yep.
On Facebook, and then we do it.
Not yet.
Not
So
yet.
we ain't got no subscribers to do it on
we can't give y'all messages. We can just give you verbal. But we'll update the website. Yeah, that's what we're doing because we're even going to stay at a hotel there near the aquarium that night because we're having our rehearsal dinner and we're having our meet and greet and we're having some fun times.
We have some man time.
Yeah, and we're going to have a good time and we want you all to be there. So information for the hotel, information, any other information that y'all need. But you have to initially go to www.tagteam
Marriage.
Is it tag?
No, Tag Team Wedding.
Tag Team Wedding. www.tagteamwedding.com to submit your RSVP.
All right. Appreciate you guys. Y'all have a great day.
Love you guys.
Later.
Good night.
Good night.
Good night. Good night. So long.